This exclusive interview is brought to you by rarefoundation.com.
Hi, this is Amy Meck from Rare Foundation USA. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Purnima Nath. Purnima is a legal immigrant who came to America about 20 years ago from India for a job relocation. Purnima is an engineer. She ran for elected office. She has her MBA from Northwestern. She's an author, among many other things. Today, Purnima is here to speak to us about a very exciting initiative she's working on. Purnima, we're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Amy, for having me. Much appreciated.
Thank you. So, Purnima, can you tell us a little bit about this initiative you've been working on? And you've been doing so many exciting things. I'm thrilled to have you.
Absolutely. I appreciate the time over here. First of all, let me start with my name. My name is Purnima, and it actually means full moon. I was born on a full moon day, so my grandma kept this name. And so it has a little bit of meaning behind it. And I came here 20 years ago as an engineer, and recently I have taken MBA course from Northwestern Mutual. Over the years, I've worked as an engineer. I've also worked as a management consultant, and later on, last 7 years, nonprofit I've been managing, and now into politics. And the initiative that I've started is basically called iExit. So if you know Lexit and Blexit, it's very similar to iExit in Indian exiting the leftism and embracing conservative values. And I've seen tremendous amount of gaps when I ran for office in Milwaukee County. Literally, most of the Indian Americans are given fact Democrats. They when they come from India to here, automatically they become Democrat. And overall, from a politics perspective in India, 74 years of independence, it was ruled mostly by leftist parties, Congress and CPIM, Marxist parties, and etc. So we have seen tremendous amount of issues in India, and lack of development, poverty, crimes, corruption. We have seen that in Indian context. And when I see this is happening and literally repeating over here, and we are going down in a wrong path, I've decided to run for office. And recently, I ran for Milwaukee County Executive. I did not win, but we made a dent because as a Republican, as a Trump supporter, I was also called fascist. I was called names and etc. I expected this was going to happen. So the initiative that I'm running is a long-term initiative to influence Indian Americans exiting leftism and embracing the conservative principles. And the short-term goal is Trump. We definitely need our wonderful president back in term, and that is why I've started an initiative called hashtag Hindus for Trump.
That's amazing. You mentioned something about being called a fascist, about having names. Who has been calling you these things, and what do you think their attacks are? Why do you think you're under attack?
Well, I'll take a broader global example for you. It really doesn't matter whether it is Trump here sitting, whether it's a Boris Johnson in UK, whether it's a Modi in India or Bolsonaro in Brazil. They're all right-wing parties. At the end of the day, they love their country. At the end of the day, they want to make sure the country is not ruined, and Marxism doesn't take root, and corruption is low. People are free enough to decide what they want to do in their life. There's no concept of silencing. Similarly, in the United States, is the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press. So we have that in India, we have that in the United States. However, unfortunately, what is happening is also not just, it didn't happen by accident. In the United States, at a minimum, for 40 years, the schools and colleges are working and brainwashing, indoctrinating children to hate this country. And this is exactly what has happened in India as well. When you come out with that kind of mentality. It doesn't matter what is the degree you have. You fundamentally, you hate this country. Fundamentally, you are taught to go rebel against the system, rebel against the country itself. So what you see today over here, burning of a flag, American flag, or the Bible. I'm not a Christian, but I will never burn a Bible. I'm not a Muslim, but I'll never burn a Quran. Similarly, the respect that comes. This is what we are taught in as a Hindu, is we are accepting for all. We are a tolerant clan of the world. We also went through severe amount of atrocities and genocide for thousands of years, but we still not somebody who has picked up a weapon and going to slaughter somebody else because as a defense mechanism either. So to answer your question, this is not happening as an accident. It is happening because there is an ideology that is getting taught in the school. So younger generation who's coming out, they are trying to, they don't understand. They all know is this. Unfortunately, all they know is hate of this country. Unfortunately, this country has done so much for the world for the last 100 years. And no other country is at the level of United States. And you have the freedom of choice also. You want to be a laborer, be a laborer. You want to be an engineer, be an engineer. You want to be a doctor, you have everything in your fingertips. And this is the richest country in the world. Why do you want to make it a fourth world country? I don't even say third world country. So long story short, it's because of the ideology that is getting taught over many decades, and people are getting brainwashed. Unfortunately, that is all they know, and it is our responsibility. And I think we together need to come out and can't be closeted conservative anymore. So come out and educate that, look, you got to go and travel the world and see how people really live. You have seen what illegal immigration issues we as a country, United States, are going through. India goes through the same kind of issues. We want to come here because this gives us an opportunity to become better and have a better life over here. So even if somebody is hating this country and still they want to come here. So if you ask somebody, even an illegal immigrant, why do you want to live over here? They will tell you for opportunity. So if that is exactly why they are coming for, fundamentally they must also love this country because they gave the opportunity to this to have a better life. So unfortunately, again, you and I, all of us together, need to make sure that we educate people, and especially younger generation, that this country is good. And of course, every country can improve. It's not perfect. No system is perfect. You can make an improvement, but that doesn't mean your fundamental baseline is hating this system or you want to dismantle the country itself. So you can establish a combination of a communism and Islamism kind of system where you don't have a freedom of speech or freedom of press or freedom of religion either. So basically speaking, I think it is by design, and demoralization that happened for at least 4 decades. And now we have for the last 3 years and 8 months, we have seen a tremendous amount of destabilization in this country. And we basically want to make sure people understand what it means to be free, meaning you have a choice. Nobody is forcing you to stay here if you hate this country. Nobody is forcing you to come here if you hate this country. And if you do, then this is not the place. Go check in, get entry to another country and see exactly what freedom means.
Right.
Yeah.
So something I have noticed is the representation of Hindu Americans in the United States in the press. And it seems that there's an attack to the same level that I see often Christians facing in the media. What is your experience with how Hindus are represented in the American media?
I'll tell you where from the crux of it. in India, we have medias like NYT, we have Washington Post, BBC, Telegraph, everything is in India as well. But exactly when you look at it from a perspective of media coverage, the right wing is always showed in a bad light and fascism light and meltdown light. So similar thing, what happens right over here. So as I said, as I alluded before, it is all by design. Because it doesn't matter whether it's Bolsonaro you're talking about or Trump you're talking about, whether it's Purnima you're talking about, because of our ideology of freedom and liberty, and we don't want to impose anybody to focus on, whatever their belief is right this point. We are shown as a fascist, we are shown as a enemy of the society, but we are not the one, the enemy of the society. So Hindus are portrayed exactly like that in India, unfortunately, as well as in Western countries. Now, recently, as you know, there is a million Muslim votes for Biden that was started by Engage and MPAC and American Pakistan Association and etc. like that. They have such a strong connection, strong support for Biden. Biden also have given, it's not just Biden, but Bernie as well as Warren and AOCs of our world have spoken against India, Hindus, BJP, Modi, to show that whatever we're doing as a country and implementing a solution which shouldn't even have become a solution for last 74 years, and right now today they are taking a action against it. They are portraying as if we are the bad guy, they are portraying as if Modi is the bad guy. And they're also, for example, Ram Mandir that just got inaugurated, in terms of the earth worshipping that's just started last week. It was said that in Time magazine, the was it Time or New York Times, the article wrote that Modi broke or did a puja on Ram Mandir, on a ruin of mosque, but the same paper didn't actually say that it was a mosque that was built on a ruined Ram temple, the Hindu temple, the birthplace of Lord Ram. So unfortunately, what they're doing is they try to obviously hide the fact and truth of it. For almost 500 years, Hindus have been trying to make sure that there is a temple that is built. And for 500 years, we couldn't do anything. We went through the court system. We went through democratic process to through Supreme Court, the declaration came through. Yet the same community doesn't want to accept this, and they want to hide the facts. So when you talk about the representation of Hindus, I'll tell you the mentality of Hindus. Unfortunately, we Hindus, we want to become here engineer, doctors, and very intellectual people. Highly high, we have businesses, hotels, and whatnot. But nobody is into politics. Nobody is involved in the political aspect either. So even if you look at from a just America perspective, we don't even have a lobby system. We don't have any politician along with us. Oh, take Biden for an example. He is endorsed by very powerful Muslim lobbies. He is also the one who's passing on Kashmir statements and saying that when I become a president, I'll take the Kashmir issue.
Right.
Where is it coming from? Because he has a media person who's a Pakistani American. He has a research analyst who's a Pakistani American. Bernie's campaign manager was a Pakistani American. So you see the connection, what is happening, why they are doing what they are doing. Unfortunately, Hindus doesn't have that kind of stuff. Hindus are very good doctors, very good engineers, and they're probably a higher income category as well. But from a political standpoint, they're not there. From a community standpoint also, we are not there. We're a very peace-loving community. We like to just focus on our own people, own family, children, school and home. That is it. We're not there in any kind of riots. We're not there in any kind of slaughtering kind of business. So unfortunately, as a Hindu, our peace has been mistaken as a weakness. But this is
Right.
not, we're not a weak people. So that is exactly, we want to make sure that we bring the message to people that Hindus are not weak, first of all. Second of all, Hindus do believe in tolerance, acceptance, diversity, and peace. And that is what this 500 years sitting there in India, within Indian territory, even though it is a Hindu land, we still fought in the court to make sure that Ram Mandir is built. After that, organizations like NYT or Washington Post tearing apart Hindu systems and belief of us. So unfortunately, in America also, we don't have any representation like Muslims do, and we don't have any lobbies. Even if we have seen a sort of like a Hindu named congressman or so, they're not really Hindus either. They're crypto Christians or Muslims. For example, Ro Khanna in California, he has a Hindu name, but he sits on Pakistan caucus. And then you talk about Pramila Jayapal in Seattle, representative. She has a Hindu name, but she's a crypto Christian. She's married to a Christian. So unfortunately, their goals are following whatever their agenda is. They're not for Hindu. So most of the Hindus are getting fooled left and right and top to bottom, because they think when they see a Hindu name, they must be Hindu. They are not. And that's exactly what's happening in India as well.
And I think that brings us back to your initiative that I'd just like you to go over one more time, because I think what you're trying to do as far as bring and awaken the Hindu community and not allow these lobbyists and these groups that have caused havoc in India, you're now seeing in America, and as you said, are taking control. And the Biden campaign is incredibly terrifying. And I know the influence that they do have with Pakistan. So to go back to your initiative, the iExit, what can people do? And is there a website or is there an action call that you're asking where we can organize the Hindus in America to have them come together and have a more powerful voice?
Absolutely. I think today in 21st century, we have amazing tools in our hand, which is social media. And the entire campaign is going to happen through social media. My website is nathpurnima.com, and the initiative information is right there. There's a sign up information as well. People can go. And within the iExit, the Twitter is at iExit 9, and we're also in Parler, we're also in Facebook. Facebook is iExit Left. So I would love people to come join us, sign up and be part of this initiative, share messages. And one thing that you and I, we both know, as a conservative, we do get banned, we do get in social media channels that we have at this point. Unfortunately, they are also not really unbiased. So we'll try our best to make sure that we are in as many portals as possible, and sharing our messages is very important. So people should know exactly where Hindus are. As a Hindu community, 20 years ago also, I didn't see the need that we need to have a lobbies and etc. But if you look at the same thing, the Muslim communities are working in the system, in American systems, whether it's a school board, whether it's a library trust board, whether it is a county office, city council, they're everywhere. You will not find a single Hindus in anywhere. Hence, at the same time, we have no voice at all. And that is why it's very important for Hindu community specifically to stand for the righteousness, stand for the dharma. Meaning, at the same time, we as a Hindu community, we are for tolerance, we are for inclusivity, diversity, peace, and what better to stand for America and Trump. He's the one who's promoting the same kind of value, even though he's a Christian. As you know, she's a half Indian. Her mom's name is Shamala Gopalan. But what I really disliked about it is she discredited the entire half of our Indian ethnic heritage. And she wrote, I'm a black, I'm a proud black. And I understand where she's coming from. She's coming from the perspective of vote bank. Being an Indian, being a half Indian ethnic heritage is not going to give her any vote. So hence she chose to be somebody. She's literally dismissed the entire Hindu generations as well. So to me, that is very disturbing. To me, that is also opportunistic. And as you know from her background, how she came to where she came to through different aspects and actions that really is below from anybody's way of uh, getting to positional authority. Unfortunately, what we're going to see is if Kamala at all becomes a vice president, there's the highest possibility that she might also become a president, because former vice president Joe Biden is not capable enough at this point. We see some issues in terms of health for him as well. And if you look at from a vice president perspective, you need to be also born in United States, right? I am not born in United States. I'll never become a president of this country. But at the same time, from a perspective of Kamala Harris, we will have to look that up as to how that shapes up. And as a personality perspective, when somebody lies, when somebody is so deceptive about their own heritage and own existence, to me, that's a red flag to begin with. And also look at her background, prosecution history too. From a perspective of Black people and etc. What did she do? What did she do for her own district too? How did she bring up? Look up her sister, her district too. It's not done any good at all from a perspective of development, from a perspective of law and order. So who do you want in this country? When you want to put somebody like that in such influential position, who literally is looking for power and elite systems for her own benefit, she's not going to look up for any people like us who's in the streets and mainstream. That's not her goal. That will never become her goal. And Biden is obviously supported by Bernie, Warren, and AOC clan and Ilhan Omar. So it's going to happen, of course, and it's very worrisome for me from a foreign relation perspective, external affair perspective. And I think we as a community, even if you're a Christian, you are going to see issues over here, because as you see, the one of the aspect of communism is lawlessness as well as no God concept. So it doesn't matter whether you are Christian or I'm a Hindu or not. At the end of the day, they're going to try to pull down all, and also Islamism is going to be part of it. So I don't want a Sharia here. I was not born in a country where we had Sharia law. I didn't choose to come to a country where we have Sharia law. So I'm very concerned about this country. It's multifolded, but three threats that our country faces today is communism, Islamism, and of course, fascism. It all combined. They're all interconnected, unfortunately. If Biden wins, you will see chaos in every street. And the policies that is getting pushed through Democratic Party is defunding police, abolishing DHS and ICE. There is not going to be any law at all, because you and I as a normal citizen of this country, we have no support, no private security. But the rich people will have private security. They will have gated community. And so what would happen to us? Anybody can come and shoot us, and there will be no justice at all for us. So you will see chaos everywhere, of course, and unfortunately you will also see chaos in the younger generation, because nobody is going to be able to discipline them, and they will think they can manage the whole world by themselves, looking at the media indoctrination as well as the narratives. So I think that as if Biden comes, it is going to be literally a crisis point for America, and being a very new country of 244 years, I see that people don't have that the 5,000 years of heritage and history that I'm talking about from an Indian culture perspective. So culturally, politically, socially, this country is going to totally break. And for normal people like us, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be struggle. What we have seen, the corruption in India, let's say, whether you're going to just pay a bill for water or electricity or a phone line, You can't actually get anything without corruption and bribery and anything like that. So we are going to go that kind of route. We are actually going backwards as a country. From an American standpoint, this is such a developed country, supposed to be a developed country. Now the police cars are getting burned out. People are just defecating in front of law enforcement, yelling and killing people. We don't want to get there. And Biden winning means this is what will happen to America, to United States of America, unfortunately. And we cannot let that happen.
Yes. Yes. So I think that's something that we're excited to have you back at Rare Foundation to talk about these issues and to give us updates. And we stand with you, and we're excited to get more people to sign up at your website, and we'll provide all of the information. And we're just so thankful that you joined us today, and that you have not been one of the people just talking about the problem, but are somebody actually doing something about the problem. So thank you, Purnima, for coming today, and we look so forward to having you back again.
Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciated the time and absolutely loved the conversation. Thank you so much. I look forward to see you again.